Hey guys, how you doing? Mowers and blowers again. As you guys remember, this Toro 521 oldie snowblower I picked from my buddy's neighborhood in Jericho. You know, you saw it on the side of the street and told me about it. Zipped over there, got it, picked it up, and as you all know, all I did with it was pull the cord on. It runs, but only on choke. It only runs on choke, so just needs a carb clean. Also, reverse doesn't go very fast, so I'm gonna have to prop it up on its face and open up that cover. Other than that, man, I have another one like these, and it's pretty cool. You know, it's old, but I bet you it throws snow better than the new ones, you know? So I'm gonna pick up that carb and clean it. Kind of in a different spot today because I sort of have a traffic jam in my garage. Can't really move stuff around too well, so just gonna have to work with the spot that I have, you know. Anyway, so it's just 2 screws over here, Phillips. And the top one, take off the heater box. Why do they call it a heater box? Because in the wintertime, this box is connected to the muffler. It touches it right there, right? And so the muffler gets super hot. This is metal, so this box becomes like a heater box, and it keeps the carburetor inside warm. Kind of ingenious. So I just took those 2 bolts off. Now I'm taking this one off. Okay, now, so be careful with this. This one is infamous for breaking because it's so close to that muffler. It's always so hot. Always gets rusted. So right now it's very hard to turn. So I'm not going to force it because I know I'm going to bust it. So I'm just going to go like super, super slow and hope that it catches, you know? Because there's nothing more of a pain than taking out a stripped or busted bolt. Oh, there we go. So it's moving now. Because you're wondering why I'm working on snow blowers in the middle of spring. Well, it's because I don't have any more lawnmowers to fix. I've got 4 that still need to be sold, 4 push motors, some self-propelled. I've got a weed trimmer wheeled. That's really cool. Works great. People aren't ready to spend $150 for that yet, you know. And I also have one of those vac chippers, since we have no foliage, no leaves on the ground yet. Nobody's buying those yet either, but they will. They'll come around. So we'll just move this around. It's pretty hot actually from that little time that. Oh, here we go. Got to take that off here, and it's pretty easy to do. Just got to be careful too. You just take like a screwdriver. You just yank it slowly and pop off. There you go. So then you move the heater box. There we go. So there it is right there. That's the typical Tecumseh snowblower carburetor. You know, you could always tell by this choke lever here like that, you know. It has a swivel lever. Man, that's really hot. I just touched it. So it just needs to be cleaned. Fastest way to do it is those 2 screws, Phillips screws right there to take off the manifold. Be careful, watch the linkage here. Make sure you know what it is. Usually this is on the top left one. And this one here is in the... Yeah, that's right. Okay. The middle one between the 3. It's 3 triangular ones, right? You do it on the middle one. So just remember where this goes. This is the primer hose. Just pull that off carefully, and then you have to disconnect the fuel line and clamp it so that the fuel doesn't fly out if you have fuel in the tank. So it's pretty easy to remove. Then once removed, I'm gonna take the bowl off and clean the jets and see what we have in there. It's definitely gonna be dirty, otherwise it wouldn't run on run. You know, it only runs on choke. I've got the carb off now. Really sticky on the bottom there. And of course I dripped some gas over here, and you can tell that it's pretty clean on the bottom because I just wiped it with you know, a cloth, and it's pretty clean looking, you know. I moved this to where it's supposed to be, upper left. It, you know, it could make some difference between the way it runs because it's moving a millimeter upwards, but not too much of a difference. Nothing you can't adjust with a screw over here, but I'm just anal like that because I know that all the other ones are on the upper left corner. I don't want to do it where it's not where I always put it, you know. Anyway, so I'll take a driver nut thing and take that off and check out the situation in the bowl. Very oily. Very oily. You ready for this? How on earth does it even run? I'm amazed it even runs. Look at that. Disgusting. Holy cow. It's I'm amazed that this thing ran. Because if you look at that, it shouldn't run, you know? It's disgusting. Yeah, definitely needs a cleaning. I wanted to show you really quick how I got this bolt clean, this jet bolt. This is one of those wired brushes. You get a pack of like 8 of them for free at Harbor Freight Tools. You buy something from there and you get a whole pack of that. You choose it. It's a must-have. It's fantastic. Anyway, I just used it to clean this nut jet. So it's a small wire for that super tiny hole there, right? You see that? Damn it. Well, you get the picture. It was clear before. There we go. So the little tiny one on top needs a smaller wire. That one's always clogged up. And then you got this one that goes all the way through. Make sure that's clean too. So this jet nut is ready to go. Okay, I gotta clean that bowl now. That's right. We bad. You go with your bad self. Look at that. It's new. Gotta get that wired bristle brush, guys. Works wonders. Now I am going to clean out the carb with the gum out carburetor choke cleaner. So, you see, the carburetor is completely cleaned. It is ready for installation. I'm gonna put it back on just like I took it off. Reverse engineer it, man. So, linkage is back on there again, right? 2 screws into the intake manifold onto the thing. Primer hose back onto the assembly. Fuel line back onto the fuel input with the clamp. And here's your choke. So now it's on there nice. I don't feel any leaks, which is a good sign since I just connected the fuel line, right? And if you don't have any leaks, it's good. So now I'm just gonna prime it a few times. If I feel anything. I don't. That's not good. Should be wet. It's not wet. It's not priming. I'll give it a start anyway. Okay, it just needed some time for the bowl to fill with gas. Now it's making the noises. See the noises? Gotta make noises, man. Now it's wet. See? So this should start now. to adjust that screw. Need a little adjustment. That runs really well. Even at low throttle. So it doesn't go in reverse. Very slow. So I'm going to put it on its face and take that bottom cover off and check out why the reverse doesn't really go, you know, doesn't go in go in reverse very well. So it probably just needs some kind of a linkage adjustment or some flywheel attention, the friction wheel. So you just simply put it on its face, and that's where it rests. I did shut off the fuel shut-off, so remind me later if it doesn't start. I also clamped off the fuel line just because it's in this, you see a little bit is dripping out already from the float bowl. Just catch that a little. Anyway, I'm going to take that, those two bolts and those two bolts off, take the panel off. Look how small that wheel is. So the right side is forward, left side is reverse, and basically has to go as much to the left as possible for it to get any kind of speed. Right now it's too much in the middle for it to go, so this has to go more that way, and I'll have to play with it and see. So I cover up the friction wheel, and I'm gonna spray some lithium grease on that axle so it's nice and smooth. Sorry it's so dark, but I don't like working in the garage, you know what I'm saying? But I got no choice, because I can't move. Let's see. Well, it's freely moving up and down. And it won't let me go anymore. You know what I'm saying? Any more to the right. So, I guess it's just like that. The reverse still doesn't work right though. So now, I'm going to take this off. You wanted to cover this up so that you didn't get any grease on this plate here, you know? You see where this wheel is? It's right there. I guess that's enough to make it turn, you know, reverse. It's pretty smooth. See, free to the hand. I'm not even pulling it. I'm going to put this cover back on. And the heater box back on the carburetor. So I just figured it out. It didn't go into reverse because this part right here, this nut needs to be tightened down more so that when I pull it, right, when I pull it like this, it pulls more, you know? It pulls more that way. So that's all it was, man. I'm going to tighten that screw now and it's going to go reverse, no problem. That was an easy adjustment. But now at least we greased that axle over there. There we go. Now it's really responsive. Anyway, that's all it takes, man. Pick that off the curb. Now it runs good, moves forward and backwards well. Auger blows, just need to be cleaned up. And that thing's good to go. See you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.